This is why you keep losing motivation. You didn't lose your motivation. It was stolen from you. And the worst part, you handed it over yourself without even knowing it. Right now, if you're sitting there wondering why you start strong and then crash, why every Monday feels like a new beginning and every Friday feels like a funeral for your goals, I need you to stop blaming yourself. Because what's happening to you isn't weakness. It's not laziness. It's something far more specific, far more fixable, and nobody is talking about it the way it actually needs to be said. Florence Scovel Shinn once wrote something that changed the way I understand human failure forever. She said that most people are not defeated by the world. They are defeated by the pictures they carry in their own minds. Think about that for a second. Not the economy, not their circumstances, not their past. The pictures they carry inside themselves. And the moment I understood that, I realized motivation was never the real problem. The real problem is what's playing on repeat inside your head when nobody's watching. So stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why you keep losing motivation, and more importantly, what to do about it starting today, not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up one morning absolutely fired up. You have a goal. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's your health, maybe it's finally getting your life to look the way you've always dreamed it should look. You feel unstoppable. You make a plan. You start. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, everything feels electric. Then something shifts. The alarm goes off, and instead of jumping up, you hit snooze. Instead of working on your goal, you scroll. Instead of pushing forward, you start questioning. Is this even worth it? Am I even capable? Maybe this just isn't for me. And just like that, the fire is gone. Now here's what most people do at this point. They go online and they search for motivation. They find a quote, they watch a video, they feel pumped up for about 45 minutes, and then they crash again. And the cycle repeats itself, over and over and over again, month after month, year after year. Sound familiar? Drop a comment right now. Just say, "That's me," because I need to know I'm talking to the right person. Here's the first reason you keep losing motivation, and this one is going to sting a little. You are chasing a feeling instead of building a foundation. Motivation, the way most people understand it, is an emotion. It feels good. It's exciting. It's that rush of energy when you imagine the future version of yourself. But emotions, by design, are temporary. They rise and they fall. They come and they go. And if your entire effort depends on how you feel in a given moment, you are building your entire life on sand. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this deeply. She taught that the invisible forces working in your life respond not to your feelings, but to your dominant thoughts and your spoken word. Your feelings are the weather. Your thoughts and words are the architecture. Most people are trying to renovate the architecture based on the weather. They say, "I'll work hard when I feel motivated." But the truth is, you have to work first, and the motivation follows, every single time, without exception. Think about professional athletes. Do you think LeBron James wakes up every morning overwhelmed with excitement to do drills he's done 10,000 times? No. He shows up because he has built systems, habits, and beliefs that operate independent of how he feels. The feeling of motivation comes during the work, not before it. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel inspired. Stop waiting for that surge of energy to carry you to your goals. Build the action first. The feeling will catch up. It always does. Now let me give you something practical before I keep going, because I don't want this to just be words you forget in an hour. Starting tomorrow morning, not in a week tomorrow, I want you to do one thing before you touch your phone. One thing, just one. Something small that's connected to your goal. If your goal is health, drink a full glass of water and do 10 push-ups. If your goal is a business, write one paragraph. If your goal is learning, read one page. One thing. Before the phone. Before the noise. Before the world gets into your head. This isn't about changing your whole life in one morning. This is about proving something to yourself. Because here's what happens when you do small things consistently. Your brain begins to build a new identity, and identity is everything. Which brings me to the second reason you keep losing motivation, and this one runs deeper than most people realize. You have the wrong identity. Not wrong in a judgmental sense, wrong in a scientific sense. Right now, somewhere inside you, there is a story you believe about who you are. Maybe it says you're someone who always starts and never finishes. Maybe it says success is for other people, not people like you. Maybe it says you're not disciplined enough, not smart enough, not connected enough. And here is the terrifying truth. Your behavior will always align with your identity. Always. Florence Scovel Shinn said this in her own powerful way. She said that what you believe in the secret place of your heart will come to pass on the outer plane of your life. The outer world is just a reflection of the inner world. If your inner world says you're someone who fails, your outer world will keep producing failure. But here's what she also said, and this is the part that changes lives. You have the power to change the picture in your mind, right now, today. Without waiting for evidence, without waiting for proof, without waiting for your circumstances to change first. The question is not what you want. The question is, who do you believe you are? If you want to be someone who is fit, you have to start saying to yourself, not when you reach your goal, but right now, I am someone who takes care of their body. If you want to build a business, you say to yourself, right now, I am someone who creates value in the world. And then, this is crucial, you act from that place. Even when the results aren't there yet, even when nobody believes it, even when your own mind is fighting you. I want you to try something. Before you sleep tonight, I want you to say out loud 3 times, just 3 times, this exact sentence. I am someone who follows through. I finish what I start. I am becoming everything I was created to be. Don't skip this. Don't read it and think, yeah, that sounds nice, and then move on. Say it out loud. Your voice carries a vibration. Shinn spent her entire life writing about the power of the spoken word, and she was not wrong. The science of neuroplasticity now backs up everything she talked about. The words you repeat become the thoughts you believe. The thoughts you believe become the actions you take. The actions you take become the life you live. The third reason you keep losing motivation is one that nobody talks about because it's uncomfortable. You are surrounded by the wrong energy. I don't just mean the people around you, though that matters enormously. I mean the content you consume, the conversations you allow, the environments you put yourself in. All of it is either feeding your vision or draining it. There is no neutral ground. Here's what happens. You wake up with a dream, and then before you've even had a cup of coffee, you open social media, and you are instantly hit with comparison. Someone your age is already further ahead. Someone with less talent seems to have more success. Someone who doesn't deserve it, in your estimation, seems to be winning. And subtly, without you even noticing, your inner world starts to contract. The dream that felt vivid and possible 5 minutes ago now feels far away and maybe even foolish. This is not motivation leaving you. This is energy being extracted from you by an environment designed to make you feel inadequate. Social media platforms are built on comparison. Comparison generates emotion. Emotion drives engagement. You are not a person to these platforms. You are a resource. Florence Scovel Shinn talked about something she called the enemy within, the thoughts, fears, and doubts that invade the mind and hold you captive. And the modern world has found a way to monetize your enemy within. They have turned your doubts into content. They have turned your fears into a feed. So you have to make a conscious, intentional, daily choice about what you allow into your mind. Not occasionally. Daily. Quick question. Let me know in the comments. What's one piece of content you're committing to cutting from your daily life starting now? Even if it's just one account, one show, one type of conversation. Tell me in 60 words or less, because naming it makes it real. Now I want to talk about something that Shin wrote about with extraordinary clarity, and I want you to hear this with fresh ears, even if you've heard parts of it before. She said that every man has within himself a gold mine. Every single person alive is sitting on unlimited potential. The problem is not that the gold isn't there. The problem is that most people are convinced the mine is empty before they've even started digging. And why are they convinced? Because they've tried before and didn't get results fast enough. Because someone told them it wasn't realistic. Because they've watched people around them try and fail. Because the voice in their own head, shaped by years of small defeats and unkind words spoken by others and absorbed without resistance, has told them repeatedly that they are not the kind of person who succeeds. That voice is lying. It is not the voice of truth. It is the voice of habit. And habits can be broken, voices can be replaced. The gold mine is real, but you have to decide you believe that before you see the evidence. That is the leap. That is the thing most people are unwilling to do. They want proof before they believe. But the proof only comes after the belief, every time. Without exception, this is not philosophy. This is the mechanism by which all human transformation works. Let me give you an example that makes this concrete. Think about a man named James. James had tried to lose weight 4 times. 4 times he had started. 4 times he had quit. Every time he quit, the story inside his head got a little louder. You're someone who gives up. You don't have what it takes. You're always going to be this way. By the 5th time, before James even started, he had already lost. Because his identity said failure and his body was just following the script. But then James did something different. Instead of focusing on the goal, the weight on the scale, he focused on the identity. He started asking himself one question every morning. What would a healthy person do right now? Not a perfect person. Not a fitness model. Just a healthy person. And he started acting from that question instead of from his history. 6 months later, James had lost 32 pounds. Not because he found magical willpower, not because his circumstances changed, because he changed the story, he changed the picture in his mind, and then his behavior had no choice but to follow. The 4th reason you keep losing motivation is this: you are measuring the wrong things. You start a goal. You work hard for 2 weeks. You look for results. The results aren't dramatic enough. You decide it isn't working. You quit. This is the motivation killer that nobody names clearly enough. We are a culture obsessed with immediate results. We want the transformation in 30 days. We want the revenue in the first month. We want the relationship in the first week. And when it doesn't come on the timeline we invented in our heads, we conclude that the effort was wasted. But effort is never wasted. The problem is that most results are invisible in the beginning. Florence Scovel Shinn talked about the law of preparation. She described it as the time between planting a seed and seeing the plant. You plant a seed and then for what feels like a very long time, nothing happens. From the outside, the ground looks the same. You might even wonder if the seed is dead. But underground, in the invisible realm, something extraordinary is happening. The seed is cracking open. Roots are forming. The entire infrastructure of a living plant is being built in darkness. And then one day, it breaks through the surface. The people who quit during the invisible season never see the breakthrough. They decided the seed wasn't growing because they couldn't see it. They abandoned the work right before the result was about to arrive. This happens to people every single day with their goals. So here is what I want you to measure instead. Not results, effort, not outcomes, input, not how far you've come, how consistent you've been. Did you show up today? Yes or no? That's the only metric that matters in the early stages. Because showing up consistently is what builds the roots. The visible results are just the plant finally breaking through the surface of something that was happening long before anyone could see it. And here is the thing about consistency that most people don't understand. It compounds. Every single day you show up, you are not just making one unit of progress, you are strengthening the neural pathway that says, I am someone who shows up. And as that pathway gets stronger, showing up gets easier. And as showing up gets easier, the results start to accelerate. This is why people who have maintained a habit for years make it look effortless. It's not that they're different from you. It's that they built the infrastructure first. They paid the invisible price. And now they're living in the visible reward. I want to address something directly because I know some of you are watching this and thinking, this sounds beautiful, but my situation is different. My problems are real. My obstacles are specific. I don't have the time, the money, the support, the energy. I hear you, and I'm not going to dismiss any of that. But I want you to consider something that Shin wrote that I have found to be one of the most powerful ideas I've ever encountered. She said that no man is your enemy. No man is your friend. Every man is your teacher. What she meant is this: your circumstances are not your captors. They are your curriculum. Everything that feels like an obstacle in your life right now is showing you something. It's teaching you something. It's preparing you for something. And if you fight it, curse it, or collapse under it, you miss the lesson and the obstacle remains. But if you look at it and say, what is this showing me? What do I need to learn here? What strength is this building in me? Suddenly, the obstacle becomes the path. The people who have come through the most difficult circumstances to build extraordinary lives are not the ones who had it easiest. They are the ones who had the most productive relationship with their difficulty. They stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And started asking, what is this preparing me for? That shift alone, that single mental pivot, changes everything. All right, I want you to stop for just a second and drop a comment. Just 3 words. Tell me where you are right now. 3 words that describe your situation, your feeling, your goal, anything. 3 words. Do it right now before you keep watching, because I want to know who's in this with me. The 5th reason you keep losing motivation is perhaps the most subtle and the most destructive. You are not connected to a reason that is bigger than the goal itself. Goals are not enough. I know that sounds strange, but hear me out. A goal is just a destination. It's a point on a map. And when the road gets hard, and it will get hard, a destination is not enough to keep you moving. What keeps you moving is purpose. Shin wrote extensively about what she called divine design, the idea that each person was placed here with a specific gift, a specific contribution to make, a specific reason for being. And she believed, and I believe, that when your actions are aligned with that purpose, you access a reservoir of energy that is far beyond what motivation alone can provide. Motivation is a finite resource. Purpose is not. Think about why you actually want your goal, not the surface answer. Go deeper. You don't just want to lose weight. You want to have energy to play with your children without getting winded. You want to walk into a room and feel confident. You want to prove to yourself that you can do hard things. You don't just want money. You want freedom. You want security. You want to be able to give. You want to stop feeling powerless. Get to the real reason. Write it down. Put it somewhere you will see it every single day. Because on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found, and those days will come, your purpose will carry you when your feelings cannot. This is the part where everything comes together. So stay with me just a little longer. You now understand that you've been chasing a feeling that was never designed to be permanent. You understand that the identity you carry is more powerful than any goal you set. You understand that your environment is either building your vision or eroding it every single day. You understand that the invisible work is just as real as the visible result, maybe more so. And you understand that purpose is the fuel that outlasts motivation every single time. So what do you do with all of this starting today? You choose one small thing, not a life overhaul, not a new system, one small action that is aligned with who you want to become, and you do it, not because you feel like it, not because you're inspired, because you have decided that you are the kind of person who does it, and tomorrow you do it again, and the day after, and somewhere in the quiet, invisible, underground part of your life that nobody sees, roots will start forming. They're already forming, right now, from the simple act of deciding. Florence Scovel. Shin wrote these words, and I want to leave them with you, not as a quote, but as a truth I want you to carry. She said that the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. What are you sending out? What pictures are you carrying? What words are you speaking over your own life? Because all of it is coming back to you. Every thought, every doubt, every moment of courage, every act of discipline, every time you chose to show up when you didn't feel like it is all accumulating, it is all compounding, it is all building the life that is about to break through the surface. You didn't lose your motivation, you forgot who you are, and now you remember. So go, start today. One thing, one step, one decision, and watch what happens next. If this hit something in you, and I believe it did, subscribe right now, because everything I make is designed to do exactly this. To cut through the noise and speak to the part of you that already knows it's capable of more. And watch the video on screen right now, because what's in it is the next piece of this puzzle, and I promise you it goes even deeper. I'll see you there.